Bucky mains are frauds. I said it. Look how crazy this is. Look at this. Are you kidding me right now? What the fuck? This video is about to offend a lot of you. If you're easily offended and you're like, Google Gaga, then nah, then click off, I guess. Otherwise, if you're an esteemed gentleman, such as myself, and you would like to partake in conversation, then please feel free in the comment section. Listen, if you're a support player, just know I love you, but honestly, someone needs to say this. Support players are low-key boosted. Let me explain.
Do you play Luna Snow and want crazy freezes like these?
By the eye of
Absolutely zero hate to the creator. The videos are actually really good. But what I just showed you is one of the highest skill ceilings you could have on healer. Like Luna freezing, and I guess it is kind of hard, but the skill ceiling for healing is so much lower than any other role in the game, bro. Any other role. I'm not even gonna lie, hot take, bro. Even Wanda is harder than playing heals. Someone's gotta say it, bro. It's just in the nature of heals, you're gonna be healing your teammates, not shooting enemies. Your teammates aren't trying to avoid your healing, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to actively get hit by you. You do have the basic things you need to learn that everyone needs to learn, but it doesn't have the extra layers. So a really good point for me would be like, a DPS player needs to count enemy cooldowns plus teammate cooldowns plus shoot enemies, right? Gotta figure out how to position and just like do absolutely everything basically. That's what a DPS player would have to do. A tank would have to do similar things, right? But the problem is with healer, you don't really need to count your enemies cooldowns. You don't gotta learn how to shoot your enemies properly, right? So just off of the nature of the role, you're going to be a little bit worse. And what I'm saying translates really well when you realize a support player can't flex. For example, I'm a top 500 player. I usually end in top 500 when I try, or like high eternity, and I'm usually solo Q DPS. I can play all roles except for a couple of tanks. Like I can't play Groot or Hulk. Don't catch me on those characters at all. I'm pretty terrible at dive, but I can play all supports and all DPS other than dive. And the truth is, the reality is, I could probably flex any role just because I've played DPS, but I cannot put a support player on Hawkeye. I cannot put a support player on Star-Lord, but I can put a Star-Lord player on Luna. I can put a Star-Lord player on Mantis. Now they're not going to be as good. They can really throw the game and they are very important to the team. I'm not going to lie, but I'm just saying you're not mechanically or game sense gifted like everyone else in your elo. Like when you're in top 500, maybe there's a difference, but otherwise shooting your teammates is not as hard as shooting your enemies. I'm sorry, bruh.
And we're all counting on you.
It's just a leap of faith, Miles. It's just a leap of faith. And I'm about to take a leap in debate, I guess. Spider-Man is not the hardest character to play. I'm sorry, guys. Someone needs to say it. Someone needs to say it. I'm tired of these people overplaying how hard their character is. Listen, I need to make something very clear. I'm talking about hard to play. Is Spider-Man the hardest to get value with? I can see that easily. You know, if you want to argue with me on he's so terrible and he's so poo, you can't kill anyone with him and goo goo gaga, yeah, sure, bro, you got it. But I'm saying Spider-Man is not the hardest to play. And you know what? Let me show y'all a gameplay example. Okay, I'm not here to teach you guys how to play Spider-Man, right? But I will want to point something out. Now, how do you usually get a kill on another character? You know, let's go like a hitscan character. You know, we're playing a hero shooter, so we might want to shoot some things. But basically, the enemies move, the enemies strafe, you have to aim and shoot them. It's a hero shooter. The hardest games you could think of that are probably esports related are probably all shooters, you know? Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not gonna put Valorant in there. I'm not doing it. Quake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these games require some serious aim. People spend 20 years learning how to aim. So how can a character that doesn't really require any aim other than this be the hardest? I just don't see it. Now, let me explain something and let me break it down for you. So how do we get a kill on Spider-Man? What you need to do is always, firstly, I mean most of the time, apply a tracer. This is the aim mechanic. Now, once you apply the tracer, the next aiming segment you have to do is hook them, right? Just like this. And that's my problem, is once you hit these two, it turns into a fighting game. And if you guys have played fighting games, you'll know fighting game inputs are extremely hard, but they're extremely easy to learn with muscle memory. The thing about aiming is it's not just muscle memory. Once you hit this part of the combo right here on Spider-Man, it turns into muscle memory. There's not much the enemy can do except for freeze you or sleep you. But if it's because the enemy needs to sleep you or freeze you, it's no longer your skill, it's the enemy's. It's not something you need to improve on. I mean, there are things you can do to circumvent it like double jump and stuff. But once you get here and you deal your combo, punch, shoot, uppercut or whatever combo route you decide to go with on Spider-Man, it's just the same. You know, of course he has a bunch of web swinging mechanics and movement, and I'm not going to remove all that, but things like this, I generally don't think are that hard if you spend time learning them. They're not nearly as hard as actually refining and honing your aiming blade. Let me give you guys a good example. So why am I on Tekken? Tekken is a fighting game, and you might be asking yourself, why? Well, in Tekken, we got moves that are called launchers, which is a fighting game term where you launch the enemy and begin your combo. And in Tekken, we also have just frame moves and normal versions of moves. So if we look here, I just did a normal version of Wind God Fist. And if we look here, I can do an electric version, which is frame perfect. Just like that, it's frame perfect, electricity comes out of my hand, it's in within 1 frame of input. You can see my input history in the top left. Why does that matter? Well, I believe once you get a launcher in these games, your brain's muscle memory is so good, it can just do the combo on its own, right? If we look over here, I just did a frame perfect move while looking at the camera. I'm not even looking at my screen. I'm literally just inputting shit without looking because my muscle memory is that powerful. I just did an entire frame perfect combo that might take some skill for some people to do, only because of muscle memory. So the point I'm trying to make is, once you get this launch going, right, in a fighting game, it's very, very, very similar to when you get a pull going with Spider-Man. Once you get a pull going with Spider-Man, right, it's basically a launch. At this point, when I hit this web, it turns into a combo game. Or you can do it the other way as well if you go this way. It turns into a combo game which your brain is really good at remembering. Your brain has really good muscle memory. Depends what route you take. There are some variations, of course, depending on what your enemy's doing, how much health they have. You might have to yo-yo them out, you know what I'm saying? But once you get this launch, it becomes muscle memory. And just for that reason alone, the fact that I can input a frame perfect move in a game like Tekken consistently, about like 8 and 10 times, right, makes it so aiming is just harder. In a hero shooter, I believe shooting is the hardest mechanic because I don't have muscle memory on how to shoot. People start to heal really fast in high elo. I can't start missing bullets. You know what I'm saying? Like, aiming is the hardest mechanic. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. In a hero shooter, I'm not denying Spider-Man is hard to play. He is really hard to play. He's really hard to learn, but I'd say he's easier to master than someone with guns. It is what it is. He does get 0 value because he's buns though, so y'all got that.
If your hand is cut off, a bionic arm...
Armed and dangerous! Again!
Can we play the counting game with Yashogi? Let's count how many properties Bucky's abilities give. Let's start with ability 1, the hook. Oh my god, I got overshield and reloaded. Wow, that's 2 so far. How much more? I also stunned the enemy, then moved them. Wow, that's 4 properties. Let's move on to Bucky's second ability. It also gives me overshield and reloads my gun. We're already looking at 2. And then we move them, we displace them, then knock them up, then apply a cripple debuff on them so they can't use movement abilities. We're at 5, guys. So we're at 9 properties with 2 abilities, guys. Now let's see what his E does. So let's go ahead and try to hit one of these fast motherfuckers. Oh my god, he fell and he slowed. That's already 2 properties, and it gives me overshield and reloads my gun, and I have 2 charges. Oh my god, I get the overshield and reload even when I miss. I'm being rewarded for playing poorly. An ult, and now we got overshield, reload our gun, and when we land, we apply a debuff that lowers their overall HP, guys. And now if we kill them, we get that back to infinitely chain it, even if you kill Loki clones. That's 3 properties. Basically, this character's a fraud. I didn't even talk about the fact that his hook is AoE, like I showcased in the beginning of the video. His hook can literally hit multiple targets, which is insane. It shouldn't have that property at all. This new ability they gave where he like stops movement is unbelievably overpowered. Unbelievably. The only reason you're not seeing him banned now is because people are banning Human Torch, because Human Torch is even more dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has AoE bullets. His bullets hit everyone around. He never runs out of ammo. Gets one of the fastest ultimates. That's one of the best ultimates in the game for steamrolling. He literally has every ability. He gets rewarded for missing his abilities because he gets overshield and health. Like you literally get free shit on this character. Not to mention, you know, you bring people together like this, but more importantly, you can almost kind of miss this and it would still kind of hit. Look, like it magnetizes. Look at this, bro. It hit him both. Like it kind of magnetizes. Bucky players are genuinely just like, Bucky. Ooh, bad guy. 2 people. Hook. Display shoe. Reload health shoe. Reload health shoe. Chase Hulk. Where you going? He left game. Okay, and that'll basically wrap it up for this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree down below. Let me know any of your hot takes. I want to make this a series where we actually discuss things. Maybe some things can actually be helpful for the game's, lifespan. Maybe I can get some people on my side, because the way I see it is, Rivals players are a whole lot of, I feel like a lot of people are entitled to play their character and feel strongly about them. So let me know how you guys feel. See you guys.